Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm Angela. Today we are going to be getting back into working on our project RV. Today we are going to be upgrading or making a little more sturdy our table, which tends to want to fall out on the floor. Let me tell you about this table. We need to be able to eat at our table, and we need to be able to do homeschool at our table because that is something we do. And we can't with this one because it's the most flimsy thing. You just put your hand on it and it falls out on the floor. So we've got to do something about that. For our uses, we don't need to ever let this table down into a bed. So we are going to make this rock solid as just a table. So come along as I put Sam to work on fixing this table.
With our pencil line marked on the wall where the table needs to go, we now have the table disconnected from the wall, unhooked from those brackets, and we're going to go ahead and take the hardware off of the table and off of the wall. This is going to remove the functionality of this table dinette set to be lowered into a bed, but that's okay. We personally do not need it. Our RV has a king-size bed in the bedroom, plus bunk beds, and that's plenty for our family of 4. We will, however, keep all the hardware, brackets, and everything in the event we want to go back to this system. We don't have to buy the pieces again in the future. Ew. Blimey, where's my drill? This is Stone Age stuff. Much better. With the hardware removed from the tabletop and the wall, and everything is scrubbed down with some good Lysol cleaning wipes, we can now measure the width of the table and go outside under the carport and cut our angle aluminum to the length we want. Now, while the table may measure somewhere around 27 inches wide, I don't want to cut my metal that wide. I want to make it a little bit more narrow. That way, as you sit and move around the table, and especially if someone puts their hands under the edge, they don't possibly touch the metal and get any kind of scratches, scrapes, or injuries. I will also sand the metal down so it is smooth, but this is just an additional step that hopefully will mitigate any kind of problems in the future. The beauty of working with aluminum is that it is super easy to cut, even with the regular circular saw made for wood. It is a soft metal, so it cuts very easily, and you don't need specialized tools. Very cool. With the aluminum cut, I'm now going to take my drill bits, get out a 3/16 diameter drill bit, and drill holes in one side of this aluminum every 4 inches. These are going to become the holes that are used to attach the screws through the metal and into the bottom of the table. The first one is 1 inch from the edge, and now I'm going to do a 4-inch spacing. And there we go. We have our pilot holes drilled through, at least for the tabletop. Now it's time to clean this up with a file, get rid of all the burrs, soften these edges so no one gets cut. Then we'll take this inside the camper and mark on the wall, or mark on the metal, where we want the screws to go through this and into our wall. We're looking for wall studs in the camper wall, so that's why I haven't drilled these out here. Alright, inside the camper we have our piece of aluminum, and it's going to go right here, pretty much centering it on the wall. And what I want to do is reuse the same areas in the wall that the original screws were attached to. My thinking is this should be substantial, there should be some support, and these are my best chances. So I'm going to hold the aluminum in a little bit different orientation but line it up so that it's centered with the original screw holes. And now I'm going to make some marks on the aluminum right in line where those original screw holes were for the brackets. And now I can drill my pilot holes through here, and we'll have 4 attachment points for this new L bracket to hold everything steady. Alright, I have my 4 holes drilled, so now is the point of holding this angle right up with our pencil line, and then carefully trying to hold this and go ahead and start one of the screws into the wall. With that one holding it, now I can move down here to the other end, being very careful with my pencil line, and then drive this screw in. There we go, nice and secure. So we removed the leg because it was wobbly, and we found that whoever owned this camper before us, the screws must have stripped out, and they thought some spray foam, great stuff, expanding foam, would seal that up. I guess they tried. So I've got my new stainless steel screws, and I'm just going to move the bracket over a little bit to get in some fresh wood, bite, and let it screw in and reattach this bracket nice and secure. There we go. That's proper. Alright, now comes the fun part, and probably the part where you're not going to want to see a lot of footage of this because of the orientation I've got to put myself in. I'm going to place the table into place, then I got to get under the table and attach the top with screws from the bottom. We'll try our best, but no guarantees. So here's a little under the table action cam. There we go. That finishes with my part.
This is so much better, and it makes such a big difference, and that we'll be able to actually use it now. It's really nice that it's pushed all the way up against the wall now, because now crumbs and stuff can't get stuck over there, and it'll be so much easier to clean. And I'm excited. We can now do homeschool at this table. We can now have dinner at this table without worrying about our plates being thrown in the floor. Well, guys, thanks for coming along as we upgraded our table. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time here.